students, welcome back to the series of lectures of mathematics. Today I am going to discuss in this video lesson hyperbolic functions and the derivatives of the hyperbolic functions. Now these hyperbolic functions are nothing but they are trigonometrical functions which are involving the exponentials, right? So let us derive the hyperbolic functions, right? If we are taking the first hyperbolic function, that is sine h of x. How do we pronounce this? We can pronounce either way, hyperbolic sine x or sine h of x. This is nothing but the hyperbolic sine of x. Okay. So this is equal to e raised to the power of x minus e raised to the power of minus x by 2. So this is the hyperbolic sine x function. Here this is a trigonometric function involving the exponential. So that is nothing but a hyperbolic functions. Now when we move on to the second one, we have cos of hyperbolic x, that is cos hx e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x upon 2. Likewise, we have tan hyperbolic x is nothing but sine of hyperbolic x sine hx by cos hx. So if you do the division part, denominator is cancelled and we get e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x divided by e to the power of x plus e to the power of raised to the power of minus x. Here we have, you can see that now x belongs to the complete real values. Here also x belongs to the complete real values. Similarly, x belongs to the complete real values. When we move on to the next one, that is secant of hyperbolic x is, this is the inverse of cos hx. So cos hx is this. So we get 2 upon e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x. Here, when we see here x values lies between, lies for all the real values of x but eliminating 0, minus 0. Apart from 0, all real values will come for the sine h of f, because e to the power of 0 is 1 and e to the power of 0 again 1, you get it as minus 1. Okay, here. So coming to the next one, cosecant h of x is equal to 1 by sine of h of x. So the reciprocal of sine, that is 2 by e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x. Similarly, we have cot of hyperbolic x is this one, that is the reciprocal of tan of hyperbolic x. So this comes up e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x divided by e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x for all the values of real values. Please note it down. So as we know the hyperbolic functions, now we will move on to the hyperbolic functions identities. Here as we have the trigonometric identity, similar way we do have the identities here. Identities of the hyperbolic functions. So that the first identity is cos square, cos h square x minus sine h square x is equal to 1. So unlike the identity of trigonometry where we have sine square x plus cos square x is 1, that is the first trigonometric identity, we have cos hyperbolic square x minus sine hyperbolic square x is equal to 1. Here we can prove this like, let me tell all the identities. Next we will go on for the derivation of this part. Okay, here the second one is secant. Secant hyperbolic square x is equal to 1 minus tan hyperbolic square x. Similar way, the third one is cosecant h square x is equal to cot h square x minus 1. So all the three identities are different from that of the trigonometric identities, where we have secant square x is equal to 1 plus tan square x there. Here we have 1 minus tan square hx, and the similar way in the third identity. Here let us derive the first one here. As we know, when we are deriving this, see, cos hyperbolic square h of x is nothing but e raised to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by 2 whole square, yes, minus of sine, that is e raised to the power of x minus e raised to minus x by 2 whole square. So I am taking the LHS part of this identity. Let us prove it to as 1 here. Okay, here. Now, when you are taking the squares, this becomes 4, this becomes 4. We are now taking the LCM here, 4. Yes, now, this is a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square. If you expand it, and there is a negative sign here, so a square, b square all get cancelled, and we get here 2ab and here plus 2ab. So that comes to 4ab. Here a is e raised to the power of x and b is e raised to the power of minus x. So if you cancel off this, this comes to x minus of x, because they are the exponentials. X minus x, a to the power of m into a to the power of n. So a to the power of m plus n. So that comes to e to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So that is the first identity. So in the similar fashion, we can substitute these values and get the identity. So all these three identities we will be making use in our problems. Now moving on to the next one. Here we do have some functions here. Sine h of minus x is equal to minus sine of hx. Okay, this is one more function. As we have sine of minus x, sine of minus is equal to minus sine x, isn't it? Yes, that is the trigonometric one. Even for the hyperbolic, the same way. And cos of h of minus x is equal to plus cos of h of x. We can prove this here. Can prove the first one as nothing but, if you are taking the LHS part, here sine h of x is e raised to the power of x minus e raised to the power of minus x by 2. Here in this, if you substitute in place of x minus x, okay, substituting x is equal to minus of x. Okay, so here that comes to e raised to the power of minus x minus of minus into minus plus x. Okay, so here substituting minus x in place of, here e raised to the power of x is e raised to the power of minus x, and minus of minus x, that is e raised to the power of here by 2 we get. Okay, so here if you interchange this, minus comes out, e to the power of x minus e raised to the power of minus x by 2. So this is minus, this is same, nothing but the same thing, that is the sine of hyperbolic x. So we have sine of minus h is equal to minus sine h. So hence prove. Likewise, we can prove the second function also. Please make a note. Today we knew what are the hyperbolic functions and their identities and their functions also. That is sine of h of minus x is equal to minus sine h of x, and cos of minus hx is equal to cos of hx. All these functions we knew. Now the actual core of this video lesson is the finding out the derivatives of the hyperbolic functions. Now let us find the derivative of the first hyperbolic function. Okay, d by dx with respect to x. Let me find the derivative of sine of hyperbolic x. Okay, here that is the derivative of, we know sine of h of x is e raised to the power of x minus e raised to the power of minus x divided by 2. Okay, we need to find the derivative of this one. Okay, here 1 by 2 is a constant, we can take it out here, and the derivative of e to the power of x is just e to the power of x minus, again the derivative of e to the power of minus x is d to the power of minus x, but we have to apply the chain rule. Since this is not x, it is minus x. D by dx of minus x is minus 1. Right. So that means 1 by 2 e raised to the power of x. Here minus 1, if you take it out, take it before, it becomes plus e to the power of minus x. So this comes to e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by 2. This is nothing but cos of hyperbolic x. So the derivative of sine of h of x is nothing but cos of h of x. Likewise, we can derive for other also. So let us simply note it down. Derivative of cos of h of x is equal to sine of h of x here. Whereas in the derivatives of the trigonometric functions of cos x, we had minus, because where c is involved, we will be getting a minus. Okay. But in the hyperbolic functions, we do not get that. Okay. Here. Now the third function is the derivative of tan of hyperbolic x, tan hx is equal to secant square hx. Okay. Write the square for hyperbolic function. Okay. Secant h square x here. Now the fourth one, the derivative of, now here sine, cos, tan over, let us come to secant h of x here. Okay, this is minus secant h of x and tan h of x. Okay, and the derivative of cosecant h of x is equal to minus, here we have, minus cosecant h of x cot h of x. And the last one, here I'll note it down here, that is the derivative of cot h of x, d by dx of cot of h of x is equal to minus cosecant square, cosecant hyperbolic square of x. Okay. So if you observe here, we have negative signs for all these three. Whereas when we compare it with the trigonometric functions, we have negative signs for only c. Okay, c here, and c we had negative signs. But here that's not happening here. Here for sine h of x, cos h of x and tan h of x, the derivatives we have all the positive, that is cos h of x, sine h of x and secant square h of x. But the later on, that is for secant h of x, derivative is minus, and for derivative of cos h of x is minus cos h of x and cot h of x. Whereas the derivative of cot h of x is minus. So you need to remember this part, that is here. This is, we have minus here. Okay. And here we do not have negative sign. Yes. So these are the derivatives. You can prove in the similar fashion by derivating the actual hyperbolic function and get the answer for all these also. Okay. In a similar way you can get it. Now let us discuss about the inverse hyperbolic functions, the derivatives of the inverse hyperbolic functions. Please make a note of this. So let us find the derivatives of the inverse hyperbolic functions. So d by dx of sine of h inverse of x. Now what is the derivative of the inverse hyperbolic function? Okay, so let us derive it. Okay, here let me suppose this inverse hyperbolic function as y. Let this be y. Okay, so shifting this inverse to the other side, x is equal to sine h of y. Okay, so this inverse part I have shifted to the other side. Now differentiating with respect to x. So this becomes dx by dx, d by dx of x, that is 1 only. And with respect to x I am differentiating, this becomes, as we know, the differentiation of sine hyperbolic of x is equal to cos hyperbolic of x. Here the function is y, so cos of h of y. Applying the chain rule, because the function is not an x, we have to differentiate. Okay, again dy by dx, because we are not, general rule is that it should be x, but it is not x. So again I am differentiating d by dx of y. Since we are differentiating with respect to x, that you should keep in mind. Okay, this is 1 and is equal to cos h of x dy by dx. So this becomes, if you shift this to this side, 1 by cos of h of x is equal to dy by dx. So here from the first identity, hyperbolic identity, we can get this as under root of 1 plus, because we have cos h square x minus sin h square x is equal to 1. So just cos of hx means under root of 1 plus sin h square y. This is equal to dy by dx. So what is our x here? We are differentiating, this is our y. So differentiation of this is differentiation of dy by dx. So dy by dx is equal to, again we can write this as sin h square of, here this one, see here sin h of x is x. So this is x square. So this becomes dy by dx, right? So that means the derivative of, let me write, the derivative of sine inverse hyperbolic function is equal to, we got it as 1 by under root of 1 plus x square. Okay, so this is the sine inverse hyperbolic function. Now similar way we do have for the cos. We can derive it. Let us write the derivation formula of this. So this is nothing but under root of x square minus 1. So that is the second inverse hyperbolic function of cos h of x. Likewise, derivative, we can derive it in the similar fashion as we derived the first one, applying the derivatives with respect to x. Okay, tan h inverse of x is equal to 1 upon, we do have for this as well as, let me write here, d by dx of cot h inverse x. We do have the same one for this as well as the same thing, 1 minus x square, and for the cot also 1 minus x square. So these two are same, but the domains are different here. The domain for this and this are different, but for cot and tan inverse of hyperbolic functions, we have 1 by 1 minus x square and 1 by 1 minus x square, same one. Now coming to the secant. So that's why I had to differentiate it. I have written it here. Secant h inverse of x is equal to 1 upon mod x under root x square minus 1. Similar way we have it for the secant h inverse x, we have for the cos. Okay, this, oh sorry, this should be 1 minus x square. This is mod x. Okay, mod x, and d by dx of cos h inverse of x is equal to minus 1 upon mod x. Here I think this is root x minus 1. Let me check here. Yes, that is 1 plus, for this 1 plus x square. So these are the inverse hyperbolic functions here. See here, if you see there is no similarity in each one, only for third as well as the sixth one they are same. For cot h inverse x and sin h inverse is 1 minus x square and 1 minus x square. While we are seeing the secant h inverse x and cosecant h inverse x, we do not have anything, but only one thing is similar, that they do have negative signs both. And rest of others, they don't have negative signs. These two negative signs, here 1 minus x square, here 1 plus x square. That you can remember. Okay, we can prove all these, we can derive all this in the similar fashion as we have derived the first one, applying the, taking it as y and differentiating with respect to x, we get the these results. Okay, so using the inverse trigonometric hyperbolic functions, trigonometric hyperbolic functions, we can solve problems in our exercise. Okay, so this I hope that today we have discussed a lot about the derivatives, the hyperbolic functions and the inverse hyperbolic functions. We will make use of these formulas and these identities in our problems in our next class. Thank you all.